How often should I do power snatches? Today we talk about how often should I do power snatches. The answer to that is dependent on your training goals. So how often should you do power snatches if you want to become stronger? How often should you do power snatches if you want to be more powerful? And how often should you do power snatches if you want to gain muscle mass and strength endurance as your training goal? So how often should I do power snatches? The answer to that is dependent on what is your training goal. Do you want to become stronger? Do you want to become more powerful? Do you want to become bigger? Or you just want to last longer? Once the goal is defined, then you need to look at your session structure as well as the structure of the week and the training cycle. So let me explain. For example, in my case, when I'm training my athletes, the power snatch is a means to an end, so it's not the end in itself. And most of the times I use the power snatch to get them stronger and more explosive, to teach a powerful triple extension, and also working on the eccentric control. However, the power snatch is not the only exercise to do that. There are other exercises where we can get the same out of our training as I've just outlined. An example would be simple pulls. We won't have the eccentric control then, but we can do power cleans, for example. So in order to achieve that goal, the overall goal is becoming stronger and more powerful. But the power snatch, as I outlined, is not the only exercise to do that. So for that reason, I personally plan the power snatch once or maximal twice a week in the training program. So let's have a look at some general outlines. Again, general outlines, it's not written in stone and it needs to be adjusted by everyone depending on its needs. But let's have a look on how many times a week you can do power snatches, again, depending on your training goal. So if you work on technique and you really want to improve your power snatch, you can do power snatches with a higher training frequency. That can be up to 4 to 5 or even 6 times a week. Obviously, the intensity is much lower, so there won't be any interferences with recovery or anything like that. So you can train at a higher training frequency, 4 to 5, maximum 6 sessions a week. If you want to improve your strength and power levels, you can do a total of 2, let's say 3 training sessions per week. And out of these 2 to 3 training sessions per week, you can add the power snatch into 1 or 2 of these sessions. If you want to work on hypertrophy, again, the power snatch is not the best exercise to stimulate any hypertrophy effect. Well, that's not the best explanation. The power snatch is not a good exercise for a hypertrophy training for the simple fact that a hypertrophy training requires longer time under tensions, more repetitions, and the power snatch is not a good exercise for multiple repetitions. I've outlined that in previous videos. The reason for that is that if you do more than 2 or 3 repetitions, the technique breaks down. So it's very difficult to do more repetitions whilst maintaining proper technique. I know CrossFitters might argue with me, but we've seen enough evidence in YouTube videos how the Olympic lift goes at times in CrossFit. Different discussion. Coming back, if you want to get stronger and gain muscle mass, you can do up to 3 to 5 sessions within a week. Out of these 3 to 5 sessions, you can include the power snatch once or twice a week. However, the power snatch is not the best exercise if your goal is really to increase muscle mass. But if you're an athlete and you have the power snatch in your regular training program, I would always keep it in, even though in hypertrophy cycles, just so that you get still the effect of maintaining your technique by constantly performing and working on your technique. If your goal is strength endurance, which normally goes along with even more repetitions and longer time under tensions than hypertrophy, again, the power snatch is not the best exercise to do that, by no means. However, if you choose to train and improve your strength endurance and you want to keep the power snatch in there, same thing. The total training sessions within a week for strength endurance is 2 to 3. Out of these 2 to 3, I would add the power snatch into 1 and really a maximum of 2 sessions within a week. Again, word of caution here, the power snatch is not a good exercise for multiple repetitions. So to wrap it up, how many times should you do power snatches? Again, dependent on your goal. If you use the power snatch as we do, a means to an end, there are also other exercises to choose than only the power snatch. So the power snatch can be in one session, and an exercise that has similar adaptations as the power snatch can be in another session. If you want to train on technique, you can do the power snatch 4, 5, 6 times a week. If you want to become stronger and more powerful, 1 to 2 times a week. If you want to do hypertrophy or strength endurance, 1 to 2 times a week. But again, the power snatch is not the best exercise for hypertrophic gains or improving strength endurance. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, you can come over to the website for every topic that I'm covering here. There is the video, so why should you go if the video, you've already seen it here. But there's an article to that video, and that article is more in-depth than what I'm covering here. So feel free to check it out. As usual, if you like the video, like everyone else does, like the video below, leave a comment, whatever. If you don't do it, it's also okay. And if you want me to clarify anything that I have not covered in the video, please leave it as a comment. I do my best to answer it. And also, if you have any topics you want me to cover, you can also leave a comment, and I will do my utmost best to cover it in a separate video. Thanks again.